Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for watching Crazy Narcissist Ex-Girlfriend. Today's video is about borderlines. Like I said, I'm doing more videos about borderlines because they can cause, people that are borderline that are abusive can cause just as much, maybe more damage than narcissists or any other, person with a personality disorder. I've said before, a personality disorder does not abuse people. Okay, I want to make that clear because now I'm doing videos about borderline personality disorder. I'm getting people that have borderline personality disorder that are very upset with me because they think that I'm attacking them personally. But if you don't abuse people, and I'm talking about people that abuse people, I'm not talking about you. Okay, I'm not saying all borderlines. I understand that some borderlines go and get help and they stop abusing people. Or some borderlines just don't abuse people. I understand this. So I'm not talking about people that don't abuse people. I'm talking about borderlines that abuse people. And it's very important because most of my clients have dated borderlines, and that's what the damage to their head is caused from. So I have been talking more about borderline personality disorder. So I'm not talking about anybody specific. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people that are borderline that tend to do the things I'm talking about. And it's actually quite common. So, enough said. So, my point of today's video is borderlines want full enmeshment. Meaning they want to be like this. And it starts right away. Doesn't it? Their two biggest things, attention and fear of abandonment. So, that fear of abandonment means the attention stops, right? So, it's hand in hand. And that's basically so much of almost everything of what they do. Okay? In the beginning of a relationship, the love bombing and stuff like that, sure, but it's first text, phone calls, emails, all these things, social media, they post things about you maybe, and it's really to just get that ball rolling, man, get that relationship rolling. And it's just so common that myself and other people have experienced people with BPD that are, baby, marriage. That seems to come up so quick. And these things aren't, I don't know if they necessarily want a child within a week of meeting you, right? But it's just, they have such poor to no regulation, emotional regulation. So everything is intense, much more intense to them. So a relationship that they're excited about, and they're excited about you, and they think you're great, then, oh God, they want that thing to just take off, man. Let's go. Let's do this. So it's just calling you all the time. And there's something that they do have that's called object constancy. And that's kind of, if you aren't there telling them that you love them all the time, then they start to believe that you don't love them. So that's why when they're at work and they call you and say, are you at home? Are you doing the laundry? Are you cooking? Stuff like that. They're checking on to make sure you haven't left because they're at work all day. You haven't been there to tell them you love them. They don't know. They start thinking, no, you don't love them because they're paranoid. They trauma bond. This is so common amongst borderlines. It is amazing. The beginning relationship, they've got their stories of bad relationships because no matter what happened in their encounters, they have such a poor perception. It's so skewed. Such a one-sided victim narrative. You're the bad guy. So, they have no problem telling you all these bad things that happen in different relationships. Whether it was their family or their past boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband. Their boss did them wrong. Their friend did them wrong. Their doctor did them wrong. And it's just ongoing. But the biggest is they will have a story that is just like yours. So you just come out of this relationship, be careful of people with borderline because they will attach themselves right to you. And they will have that same story. They have dated a narcissist. No matter what, they've dated just as bad a person as you have because their experience to them is just as bad. It's horrible. So when you come out of this horrible experience, and you're telling them about it, and then they're like, oh yeah, me too. Yeah. I hate narcissists. Yeah, be careful. There's a lot of borderlines, you know, like I said, borderline and people with CPTSD come from the same place, that childhood kind of trauma, poor emotional regulation. And so they're experiencing bad relationships like people with CPTSD. So if you guys have that and you're out here in this community, you're gonna pair up you might pair up with somebody that also has had the same experience as you, but is borderline. Okay? So this trauma bonding it's a real connection, man. Trauma bonding is intense because it's the one time that you feel nobody understands what you've been through, and then someone does. And they're right there. And then you share all your traumatic things, and they share all their traumatic things, and they're there for you, and you're there for them. And it builds this relationship. And with the borderline specifically, okay, they really play out that victim narrative, borderline and histrionic. I mean, I truly believe that if you've suffered from emotional abuse from a loved one, that you have been victimized. Because I truly believe that a lot of what these people do, they're aware of it. They choose to abuse you. So I believe that, you know, if it's abuse, you're a victim. And I don't want people to play that out too much. I want them to acknowledge that somebody they're with was abusive and had a personality disorder, and it's not their fault. They shouldn't have stayed with it, though, you know. So that trauma bonding really, it forms this bond that, and they really, really are there to fuel that with, you know, it's us against the world. You know, it's you and I, and there's only two like us, and here's society, and we're a little bit outcast. We're a little bit, you know, society doesn't understand us quite as much, and nobody else really will, and things like that. Don't forget, borderlines also really, really don't have self-identity. They really lack a sense of self, very fragmented. And when you're like that, they have a personality disorder, so they really lack their own sense of self-personality. And that's why they mirror. So they look at you and they copy you, and they really like things that you're into. And so when you enter a relationship with someone like that, and they're not, you know, you're not sitting here going, you know, I like this, and they're like, oh, that's cool, I like this, you know, this guy, you know, you're saying, hey, I like baseball, and she's saying, well, I like romance movies, and he's saying, well, okay, I'm going to go to a baseball game. Will you go to a baseball game sometime with me? And she's like, well, I really don't care for baseball games, but I'll go next week. You know, maybe she'll go with them one time. And then maybe she's like, you know, I know you hate romance movies, but, you know, can you go with me sometime? And he'll say, you know what? You're going to go to the baseball game. I'll go to the romance movie. No. With borderline, she's like, I love baseball. Oh, my God. And he's like, oh, wow, you do, huh? What are the rules? I don't know what the rules are. You know, what's your favorite team? And she's like looking around. What's your favorite team? Oh, the Brewers. Yeah, I'm a Brewer, big Brewers fan. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. The mirroring is incredible. Okay? Now, narcissists might do stuff like this to really get you. But, I mean, borderlines, man. That no sense of self. It's just the copying, the mimicking, the echoing, the mirroring is intense. It can be really intense because, especially if you believe that what you like to do or things you like are so peculiar and so different, and then you find somebody else that likes all these things that you do, if you don't believe in soulmates, you will. I mean, you'll just be like, man, it's just weird, it's crazy. It's like, how can we just be the same with everything, you know? So, I mean, that full enmeshment, you know? Contracts, they have no problem entering any obligation with you. And I mean anything. Marriage, baby, let's buy a house, let's rent something, let's buy a car, timeshares, I mean anything that binds both of you together in a contract for life. They love it. Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And then after the relationship is over, you can't get the paperwork, you can't get them to sign anything, you can't get the keys, you can't get them to cooperate. Because of the attachment, they won't break it off. But they'll use you. They love using people. So they use you, they keep that there, keep their stuff there, go, date other people, come back, be able to come back whenever they want, get attention from you, get sex from you, get money from you, whatever they want. These are the users. The abusive borderlines are the total users, man. These sayings are just the sayings. And then you guys come up with some more down there. And you come up with narcissist sayings. Same thing, that full enmeshment, man. It's just that you were meant for me, I was meant for you. And they really play that narrative out like crazy, man. Soulmates. We are binded. It's us against the world. There's nobody like us. Nobody understands us. Nobody knows us. You won't find anybody else like me anywhere. I'll never find anybody like you anywhere. Don't leave me. Please give me attention. Please get up as high a level of feelings and emotions as I am. So this is so intense, and then let's go get married and have a baby tomorrow. I know it takes 9 months, but we might be able to do it in 3. They'll use things like horoscopes, fortune cookies, dreams. I watch something on the news, something on the TV. All these things say that we were meant to be. We were meant to be. All these things brought me to you. All these things brought you to me. It's sentiment. It's nice, but it's just too much, man. It's played out. These people are so shallow, so fake, that you will question it. You have questioned it, haven't you? You're sitting there just going, man, this is crazy. Fast is, it's a local motion. It is just, the relationship is just going. And that's always a sign. If the relationship is going faster than you want it to, or it makes you feel uncomfortable, wake up. Say something. Put the brakes on. Stop. Pull back. Something. Talk to them. Tell them. Okay? The I love yous, the love bombing, I've said this before, but I call it the Marco Polo of love bombing. I love you, honey. I love you, honey. I love you, honey. I love you, honey. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. It's just Marco Polo all day, all night. It's insane. It's just like, dude, I know some people need reassurance. That's great. I don't mind reassuring my partner. But Jesus. They make you feel needed. And that's important. They make you feel needed. I mean, when they're such a victim, they always feel like they're you really take over that role with a borderline, and you really become the parent and the caretaker and all these things, and you're just, what it really is you're just constantly focused on them and their problems. Fix this, do that. And it really comes down to, you just think they're completely fucking helpless. Just like, man, you feel like you're not just directing them. You feel like you're holding their head around, right? And you're just doing this, like, God, okay, do this, go over here. And if you let go, they're done, They go out on their own, they're screwed. It's dangerous. Something bad's going to happen to them, I mean, all these things they try to do to get you to not leave. So that, and then make the relationship so emotionally intense that you just go. And then when it's boring, off to the next one. Abandon. They really make you feel like they can't make it without you. They need you. You need them. They'll try and get involved in every little thing that you do. And you start to kind of lose yourself, man. You give too much of yourself away with these people and you have nothing left. And when they abandon you, it's sad. And then they go tell people you abandoned them. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that clarified a little bit of things for borderlines if you've dated one or have some family member that's borderline. Fear of abandonment, constant need for attention, man. That's what they are. If you had 2 buckets and you took every single behavior they did and dropped it in one of those buckets, either fear of abandonment or a need for attention, you literally could take every single thing they do and put it in one of the other buckets. And you'll look and you'll see that picture and just be like, wow, that's what it really comes down to. Thank you, guys. If you can, vote up or down, comments, share it somewhere on groups, forums, social media. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Love yourself first. Take care. Bye-bye. Danny Dog Productions.